Welcome back to episode 111 of the Disorganized Wizards Club podcast. My name is Alex. I'm here as always with Adam.
Hello.
And Cam.
Hey.
And we're a group of auto-based players that play just about anything and everything we can qualify for. We talk about decks, tournament stories, just about anything to help you and ourselves get better at Magic.
Hopefully.
The
dream.
Is this the last episode of December? Last one of 2018?
I think it is, yeah.
It might be.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'll leave tomorrow, so.
Unless we find a guest for next week.
Yeah, you can get guests in here.
But if not, then going to be a bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, Adam goes back to the homeland tomorrow.
Going back to the motherland.
Cam leaves next week.
Yeah, I'm flying back on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, gone till the new year.
It's going to be a fun time in the airport.
Yeah, just a wild party.
Yeah, 7
Christmas
a.m.
Eve.
on the 24th.
Yeah. Oh, man, I flew on Christmas Eve 2 or 3 years ago. Can't remember. It was when I went home with the Eve.
Okay.
And, man, it sucks.
Say no more.
Dude, flying on Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Gross.
I'd probably enjoy it just for sort of the it'd be like going to the zoo. If it wasn't at 7 in the morning, I could have my wits about me.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to be one of the animals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the big downside back then, and every other time I've flown, is that I land in Calgary and then I got to drive 3 hours to get home. So it's like,
Yeah, mine's only
I went through security in Ottawa, get on this 5-hour flight. All right, I'm in Alberta. Oh wait, I still got to drive 3 hours, and then
Yeah.
That's miserable.
Oh yeah, I'm flying straight to Miss now. Well, not straight.
They have an airport there.
Yeah, they've had it for a while. There's just no service. I don't know where they had service to. Maybe just Fort McMurray.
We spent all our money on a landing strip. We don't got no planes.
Yeah,
Wow.
but now I just can get a transfer out of Calgary, so Ottawa, Calgary to there. But I have an hour layover, which is actually not that bad.
Hour
It's like a
layovers go by.
30-minute flight.
Yeah, they go by really quickly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get some food.
That's not so bad.
Get some taco time in the airport.
We're living the dream.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so grim.
Oh, man. So there's a lot that happened this past weekend. Bunch of tournaments, all of them modern. Hooray.
You'll love to see.
You want to hear what's worse than flying on Christmas Eve?
Man, we had GP Portland that was won by Grixis Death Shadow.
Hey, shout outs to that, though. You know what? On the last week's episode, I was like, what does that deck even beat? And then you said, unfair decks.
Yeah.
You know what we saw a lot of this weekend?
There was a lot of unfair decks.
KCI.
Yeah.
Dude, I was hoping for an all KCI finals.
At the Invitational?
Yeah, it's
Me
nice.
too.
Just
I
to
had my fingers
the
crossed.
misery of watching it.
Yeah.
How miserable is watching KCI? Is there a more miserable experience than watching KCI on coverage?
Depends how you define miserable. Let me tell you, I do enjoy watching other people be miserable watching.
Yeah,
modern.
but that's the thing. It isn't watching other people be miserable.
Oh, it's horrible.
You suffer through watching it.
Yeah,
It's
for
just
sure.
the least entertaining thing to watch. It's so miserable. It's like, oh, he's going off. Look, oh, geez, he's popping off. Look at him go.
Yeah.
Oh, he cycled that thing. Oh, he got it back. Oh, look, he got back to Mana Rock. He's gonna make some more mana here. Just let him move the die.
He found one scrap trawler. We're halfway there.
Yeah. Just let him move the die. Now he's got 36 colorless mana, 1 blue and 3 green.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna keep track of them. What's he gonna use to cast this scrap trawler? We're almost there. You know what I mean? This is just so miserable. So I was praying for an all KCI finals, just so I could be like, and people get mad at me when I dunk on modern. This is what you get. You know what I mean?
Can I also to add to this rant, having the Invitational top 8, best of 5, sure, cool. But making you play modern 2 games post sideboard out of the 5 is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Standard, sure, whatever, do it. Modern, that's so stupid. The sideboard is so goddamn important in that format.
2 games post board?
Yeah, the first 2 games of the
2 games pre-board.
Yeah,
2 games pre-board.
Yeah, 2 games pre-board. Did I
Okay.
say the other thing?
Yeah.
I meant pre-board.
Yeah, pre-board.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
I agree.
Man,
I
get you're trying
don't
to
think the top 8 should be modern, actually. I think Standard's so healthy right now that there was actually a mistake.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were going to make that decision to make it modern, don't be dumb. Don't just copy the Pro Tour thing because it's what they do. Be smart. Literally, the only thing that matters in modern is your sideboard and how good you are post board. It's so stupid.
Yeah, for most decks.
But for us, we got to watch KCI just dunk on people for 2
Oh,
games.
yeah, did it ever. Actually, though, I will say watching Dredge versus Spirits, Dredge versus Spirits was not that sort of goldfishy, you know?
That was an
it wasn't
interesting
just
match, yeah.
it wasn't just two ships passing in the night. It was actually an interesting match, and there were a lot of decisions.
There was a lot of play just around Mausoleum Wanderers.
Yeah.
Each player trying to the Dredge player trying to bait the Spirits player into using their Mausoleum Wanderer, and the Spirits player trying to figure out what's a bluff, what do I actually need to spend this on. There was some cool games in that match.
Yeah, and when to cast sort of Thalia, and should you, and in what order, because it's conflict with Collected Company. And there were some decisions later in a match because he'd been punished. He changed his decision later, which I'm not sure was actually the best.
There was a sweet play from the Dredge player where they had no dredgers in their graveyard. They only had 5 or 6 cards in there. And the Spirits player had 3 mana open and a 2/2 and a 1/3. And the Dredge player end of turn Dark Blasts. And it's not going to kill anything because the creatures are too big. But they didn't have a Dredger in the yard. And they just Dark Blast and stare at their opponent. And then the Spirits player tanked and eventually ended up quelling it, which was good because the Dredge player needed to resolve something else through a queller.
Mm-hmm.
But it was this interesting, are you just trying to get a Dredger in the yard? Do I need this to be exiled? What's happening here? And it was cool. There's a lot of moments like that.
Yeah, it was actually, I will say, it was a really interesting match. Yeah. Not what you expect from Dredge, but I will say, I think that people have a sort of misconception that there is no decision-making and interaction in Dredge. It just looks that way when they roll you.
Well, do you know why it was an interesting match? Spirits never drew Rest in Peace.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's part of it. But even the pre-board games were interesting and close. And they went 1-1 in the pre-board games, and they were close. And I think that, Dredge just gets a bad rap for being sort of non-interactive because when it steamrolls you, there is sort of nothing you can do. And so that kind of taints the games where it does actually matter how they sequence their lands, whether they get their blood gas back,
Got to make sure you don't mill over your stomping grounds.
Yeah, somebody else got another guy down, dude. They're milling their stomping grounds. But yeah, it as much as I kind of dunk on Modern, but in all KCI finals, it'd just be hilarious. But
yeah,
that deck miserable.
It's pretty miserable.
Stone cold miserable.
It's really good.
I don't know.
Really freaking good.
It's really, really good. But I don't know if it's the best thing you can be. It's very good, but it's not obviously the best deck because it's Modern. There is no best deck. There is no single best deck.
Yeah, I don't know. We're kind of getting to the point now where that deck's obviously busted, and there's a lot of, I don't know if you've been on Magic Twitter recently, but a lot of people calling for this deck to get the axe.
Yeah,
it's been like that on Magic Twitter for a year or so.
Yeah, it's been there for the last 2 banned phases. People have been calling for, what's it called? The dumb green cantrip.
Ancient Stirrings and Mox Opal and a couple other things. They've been calling for them for a while.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's just pretty standard at this point, but KCI just isn't at the level of dominance that it requires a ban yet. It just isn't.
There was 2 in the top 8 of the Invitational, and they kind of walked all over the top 8, finishing in the semis and winning. But what about the other events?
I mean, it also won the team event.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a team event, so we don't know.
3 copies in the top 4 of the team event, and then none in the top 8 of GP Portland, though.
But none in the individual GP.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. It's tough to say. And also, if you remember, there was a time about, when was the last ban? 3 months ago? Ban, being our announcement.
Just one of them with no changes.
3 months ago, where at that time was sort of Matt Nass running roughshod over people with the deck.
Yep.
And at that time, people were calling for a ban. And then it just disappeared because humans came in and sort of had ways to punish it. There were decks that could punish it, but humans kind of got overshadowed by Spirits, right? Which is a better matchup for KCI. But, this is maybe why
actually, KCI's one of KCI's worst matchups is Spirits.
No, I know, but I think it's still better.
Than humans?
Because don't they just meddling mage you and you just lose?
Yeah.
You just auto lose as opposed to trying to fight through things.
Yeah.
You just actually auto lose. So, yeah. But anyway, my point of all this is that there was a time where people said the same thing about KCI and then it just sort of dropped off for a while. And now, it's resurfaced.
Yeah.
So, I think the deck's very good, but it has to be positioned, I think. It can lose.
But that's just really the people on Twitter are just embracing the spirit of Modern. And it's kind of something we're going to talk about in this episode. It's just they love to hate.
You gotta.
If you ain't hating, what are you doing?
Yeah. I don't know. But like maybe it reaches a point where people tune it and it gets to a point.
Well, it's pretty tuned now. Like the new iterations of it with the Spine of Ishsaw and the
Spine is a big one.
The Magic Corset guy, 3-mana blue. Sai.
That guy's been played since.
Yeah, that card's busted in that deck.
No, but I'm saying like that isn't new. People have been playing that since it came out.
No, but like they're playing it like multiple copies main deck now.
No, I know. There's been versions that have been doing that since it came out. Like my friend's been playing it at PPTQs with size for like literally since it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And like those versions have been on Moto. The Spine of Ishsaw is like the kind of big like change, but I don't know. Like I'm not really convinced that like it's that much different than other versions. So like I know everyone's calling for it, but I mean they were calling for it last time and then it just didn't dominate the way everyone said it did. So if it does, sure, then I'll agree. But right now it's like it looks kind of like, oh, I just want a tournament, ban it. You know what I mean? Like, is it really that bad? Like, I don't think it is.
But WotC at least has demonstrated that they're willing to ban for reasons other than dominance. They're willing to ban for unfun play patterns.
Yeah, I'll give it that. Yeah. Then I'm pro ban. Like, if that's your argument, like
that's why Aetherworks Marvel got the axe. That's why Divining Top got the axe.
Yeah, because like. Yeah, Marvel's win percentage was like 50%.
Yeah. That's why Eggs got the axe too.
Yeah.
Like, this is similar.
They actually tend to ban more for unfun than they do play experience. Look at Black Red. It was just comically dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing got banned for like 9 months. They just let Standard be hellish for 9 months.
Yeah. Love to see it.
Love to see it. But
maybe that's not a good look for KCI.
Yeah, they mostly banned for just misery. This is why I was hoping, I guess, deep down for an all KCI finals, because then maybe it would get banned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think dominance-wise, I don't think it's a dominant deck.
No, yeah, of course.
But I think it's miserable. Like, I'm actually pro banning it because it's so incredibly miserable.
I'm on board with that.
Like, and not only that, like if they're moving to like esports, like really trying to create viewer experience, like, is there a worse?
No.
Like, I can't even
you don't even
question.
have to finish that. No.
Is there a worse viewer experience?
No.
Because Storm kills you way faster.
Yeah.
What's a worse viewer experience? If you're kind of new to Magic, watching someone flash a Spine of Ishsaw from their hand, gesture kind of randomly at a few different cards while you see them talking, but you can't hear them. And then the commentators be like, yep, we're packing this one up. And one of them be like, I still don't understand this new combo. Or watching on whatever digital platform they implement Modern on, them cycle through the loop, waiting for their opponent to pass priority like 10 times.
Yeah.
Which is worse?
It's all pretty bad.
Yeah.
This deck just has no positive play pattern to it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't think it's an issue of dominance. Like, I think that if that's the argument people on like Magic Twitter were making, that's just foolish. Like, it's just completely misunderstanding, like, it's just misunderstanding what's happening in the game, like, and what's happening in Modern. It's misunderstanding hate and like how people can hate for this deck because they have. And they've completely hated out of the metagame 3 months ago.
Yeah.
It's just that it's miserable.
I love that. Did you guys see game 3 of the top 8, Jund versus KCI, where he plays a turn 0 ley line and then lost?
Yeah.
Because it got spined.
Yeah, he's played like a turn 2 Scavenging Ooze as well, and just like had a good start and then just got spined and lost.
Yeah,
like, man, it's so good.
I've cast a lot of Spine Ishsaws in my time. That card is incredibly satisfying.
Oh, man.
It's unreal.
I don't get the flavor behind it.
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't play during that time.
It's like some big dragon spine that's now lodged in mountains and
Gotta read the lore, dude.
Whoever Ishsaw is.
But now it's an
Read
artifact.
the lore.
Not a chance.
And it destroys things.
I can't read.
I don't know what I'm saying. Recommending reading.
Somebody give me a podcast, explain it to me.
Yeah. But yeah, so Death Shadow won Portland, Shadow, Boggles, and Ironworks won Liverpool, and and KCI won the Invitational. Just like
I love that list, man. I love that the team event was won by Shadow, Boggles, Ironworks.
Yeah, well,
everybody just being miserable.
It's just a team built of what's good right now. Unfair decks. All right, we'll play 2, and we'll play something that preys on our opponents.
Yeah. It's actually like...
Yeah, it's genius.
Two
unfair linear decks plus 1 that preys on those.
It's actually nuts. Although Death Shadow ain't beaten Boggles in a bajillion years.
No, that's...
That is just never, ever happened. Can they actually beat that deck?
You need like draw your sideboard Lily of the Veil on the draw on turn 3 and get whatever.
On the play, yeah.
Maybe you want it on the draw so that they like put extra enchantments on their guy.
So that you gotta really get them.
So you get more of it. And none of them are totem armor.
Yeah,
and
they can't fetch Dryad Arbor.
Yeah, they got to be tapped out for all these enchantments they put on.
Yeah.
You go to like 3.
You got to like
Lily of the
6
Veil
for
them.
1 them. That's your only chance.
Yeah, and then if they never draw anything again, because you're already at 3, so like your Death Shadows are big.
There's just no way Shadows beating Boggle, right? Like,
no.
There's just, I'm trying to think, like, is that one of the most lopsided matchups in the format? It's got to be close, actually.
Man,
all the lopsided matchups in Modern are just like some fair deck that just gets pounded.
I can guarantee at least one of our listeners is a Death Shadow expert and tweet at us. Let us know how bad is the Boggles matchup.
Well, I mean, if you're on the play, you could just Thought Seize them and they lose. That is the downside of playing Boggles.
True.
They also have to kind of be careful in that, like, even if their guy is trample in first strike, like if they attack you too much early, their 8/8's not getting past your 10/10.
Mm.
And they can't really deal with that.
How bad was their draw that they have an 8/8 and it's not like a 40/40?
Like
Vigilance Trample. Like, what are you talking about?
You've been stubborn annihilating some things.
I mean, wouldn't know. I've only ever gotten just absolutely smashed by Boggles. That's the only games I've had with Boggles. Either I just get ranched by some 50-50, or like I Thought Seize them and take their Boggle and they just do nothing and die.
You like Inquisition them, you stubborn denial a Coronet, and like you get a Death Shadow in the way, and like then you just wait until something else they draw kills you.
Good times.
You just die slow. But yeah, like, see, Modern's wild. You can't like metagame for it though. Even like we're talking about all this, like, I don't know. What if you just end up playing as Boggles? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, like Death Shadow, like pretty good KCI matchup, like probably pretty strong, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Then
I think
you just loot the Boggles.
if you're playing Modern, you just got to play something in linear and good. Like it doesn't.
Like Jund. Dude, you know what wasn't in these top 8s? Tron.
It was in the top 4 of
the team
event.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Probably got carried.
Yeah, probably.
Getting in a backpack.
Yeah. It wasn't in any of the top 8s, unfortunately.
Unlucky.
Yeah. Who knows?
Just a turn too slow.
Thinking I'm going to stop casting my cards, though? You're wrong.
Just a turn too slow.
Yeah, I guess so.
Probably what it was.
Turn 3 cards is not good enough, I guess.
Dude, just a turn too slow. Dude.
I'm just out here trying to play fair. Honest Magic.
By then they got
cards.
4 prized Amalgams on the board.
I'm just trying to play Planeswalkers, guys. Just being honest and fair, and you're just out here doing busted stuff, playing solitaire with yourself.
Yeah, that's rude.
How am I supposed to?
I'm trying to interact by minusing card.
Yeah.
Okay, target something that's yours. It's
bullshit. Let me tell you.
It's a lot of interaction.
But yeah, like, I mean, hey, this guy out here playing Jund though.
Shout outs to Fabiano, who, as we always claim,
who listened to the podcast last week.
Definitely did.
Yeah.
We mentioned that because we expected a lot of like graveyard linear decks to be popular, and if you were going to play something fair like Jund, you had to sort of bend over backwards in some sense to anticipate these sort of matchups.
Specifically for Dredge, and we even said play Kalitas.
And Fabiano has one Cletus main.
The old Cletus, the slack jawed zombie dude, just out here running roughshod.
Yeah.
Next to 3 Nihil spell bombs.
Yeah, that's
main.
Yeah, man.
Just cleaning up the graveyard. Anything that happened to get in there somehow past Cletus, it's out.
Spell bombs are great, man. Make your glyphs one power bigger, and they exile your opponent's graveyard, draw you a card. What else? What more
Make
do you
your
want?
boy bigger, possibly smaller. Who knows?
What?
It's Modern. You can't predict what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just good deck building.
It's steroids, but also cortisol. Sorry.
Yeah, man. But yeah, if you're like, you have to make some sacrifices if you're gonna try and play fair. And
I think we did say if you're gonna insist on just throwing away your money and playing Jund, that you have to play some of this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're just not in a spot. Again, though, like some part of me feels like so much of this weekend in Modern happened because there's no burn decks. Can you imagine someone showed up with burn this weekend? Would they have just won?
They're not getting past this Cletus.
Well, yeah, that card's unbeatable. for like every deck in the format. But like, apart from that, I'm saying no for real. Like Burn would have had a field day, right?
I mean, like the new Burn deck is these Phoenix decks, right? Like this is just Burn now.
I mean, they did kind of have a field day then.
Yeah,
there's 2 in the top 8 of the GP and the Invitational.
Yeah,
that's the most represented deck in top 8s. So like,
yeah, there was one in the top 4 of the team event as well.
Just a kind of hyper, maybe like Infect even would have done. Infect is a deck that would have done well, definitely.
Yeah, man.
Because you just kill a KCI right away.
Yeah,
that's what the SCG commentary, Cedric and someone else was joking that they just wanted to like get Tom Ross on coverage for these KCI matchups, so he can just talk about how like people should be playing Infect against it.
Yeah, and it's reasonable. I mean, actually, if you recall, during the height that I was talking about of KCI, Aaron Barrich won an event. Remember playing Infect?
Yeah, he won the last Invitational.
Yeah, and we were like, "Wow, what the?" There you go, right?
Yeah.
Like, because that's what he was playing against. And it was during that time of sort of like this KCI. Just this time, nobody came prepared, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was just playing the KCI decks instead of...
It's so obvious. How did no one think to play Infect? Like, KCI is based...
What a world. Can you believe that no one played Infect?
No, think of this. Think of this.
Tier 7 deck.
KCI is good. KCI, like, it's on Mirrodin. What beat the Mirrodins? The Phyrexians.
Yeah. Phyrexian mana, get him in there.
Wow.
There was a lot of gut shots out
That's
here.
just, that's solid game design. When you really get down to it, man.
How did no one just be like,
Turns out Phyrexian mana was the hero we needed. Yeah. Can you believe it?
Phyrexian mana and poison counters.
Yeah, we've come full circle.
Wow.
They should print more of those.
Thanks, Watsy.
That's what we need. Hey, just in case you're listening to this, as I know you do, Watsy, we need some more Phyrexian mana in our lives.
I know you guys got a lot of flack for that set, but man.
Turns out you did it right. Several years later, in retrospect, nothing was really that bad.
All right, here's what we do.
Of course not.
In recent standard sets, every time they've done sort of like character-centric, human-only sets, it's followed up by some like big Eldritch monster reappearing. So we've just had Ravnica, which is just sort of a setting character development set. We're going to have Allegiances of Ravnica or whatever it's called. Similar. After that, something big needs to appear that all these, newfound guilds can fight together. And why isn't it just the Phyrexians teamed up with the Eldrazi? Does the Eldrazi get affected?
Led by Nicol Bolas.
Yeah. Nicol Bolas, the whatever they want to call him, infected.
This is turning into a Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Nicol Bolas, Yawgmoth Reborn. That'd be a sweet planeswalker.
Yeah, it's a Yawgmoth infected, like a Phyrexian infected Bolas. Yeah. Dude, he deals damage in Infect.
Because he's been going plane to plane, trying to gather stuff for his sweet army. And he's already been kind of corrupting corpses into this.
He caught the plague.
Yeah, he's been doing similar things to Phyrexia.
Someone get this guy a job at Wizards.
Dude, this is what we need. A guy get more Phyrexian mana in there in the design team. Maybe print some damn dredge cards too.
God damn it.
You know what? If you want to order some dredge cards though, maybe get some people with these unfair strategies. The price of great deals, just like the deals we see on Phyrexian mana. You can go to wizardtower.com for all your single needs. Free shipping in Canada. Great start, great people, great sponsor of this podcast.
That was good.
Hey man, that was a good ass ball. Yeah. Talk about these sweet deals. Get the people you care about in your life. Get them some Phyrexian mana stuff. Hook them up with some sweet deals.
Man,
they got board games, you name it, minis,
anything you would want.
Just literally anything.
Yeah.
You're gonna get my mom's Christmas gift from there. Don't know what yet, but we'll figure it out later. I actually got my cousin what's it called? Carcassonne. You know that board game?
Sounds kind of familiar. But...
Yeah, it's really good. Oh wait. That was a different one. I got him Small World, actually, my bad.
Oh, I've played that. That one's good.
Yeah, that was a great board game. He's a big board game nerd, so got him there from the old wizardtower.com.
Small World sweet.
Wow. Yeah, real good. Yeah, see? Just getting everybody what they need for the Christmas spirit. Hey, we are so aren't we doing something for Christmas spirit?
We are.
Too?
We're doing a Christmas giveaway, giving away a whole box of Guilds of Ravnica.
Jeezy Pete's a whole box?
Yeah, whole box.
Mailing it right to your door?
Hell yeah.
Giving you the tools you need to fight the Bolas Uprising.
Yeah, set with Shocklands. Look at us go.
if you want to enter to win, this box goes around. And let me tell you how you can do it. If you're a patron, you're already entered to win.
Automatically
easy. Or you can follow us on Twitter and retweet our most recent episode or this episode. There's posts there. You can find them. Just go check us out at DWC Podcast 1. Or you could follow us on Facebook and repost our post there. Also talking about the giveaway. Many ways to get entered to win. We'll be pulling the names, I think, sometime next week.
Yeah, next week.
Before Christmas.
We'll post the winner and ship them the goods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where were we, though? Phyrexian Mana?
Phyrexian Mana. Speaking of Phyrexian Mana, we this deck list from the top 8 of Portland, this Abzan Evolution deck, man, Postmortem Lunge.
Yeah, dude. I literally had never even seen that card before.
Modern All-Star.
It's 4 of.
Yeah.
That card's wild.
Dude, it's insane.
Have you seen that thing before?
No.
It's
I've never seen it.
For creatures.
It's nuts. So for people who don't know, it's a black Phyrexian Mana. So 2 life.
Yeah.
And 3, and then X. Sorry.
Yeah.
And you can bring something back with mana cost X or less.
From your graveyard to the battlefield.
Yeah.
With haste. And then you exile at the beginning of the next end step.
Yeah, Kiki Chikis it from the graveyard for a turn.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just combo killing them the turn that you do that.
Damn right you are.
Yeah. This is a wild deck.
Wait. If I'm killing them the turn that I cast this, then is paying life really a cost?
Huh. Maybe there might be a fundamental design problem with Phyrexian Mana. I think you hit the nail on the head. It was fine up until Postmortem Lunge.
Yeah,
this was the last straw.
Yeah.
This is what put it all over the edge.
Everything
so
else
close.
I've seen.
Birthing Pod, whatever. You get to play the game out. It's going to keep going.
Yeah,
That's
it's multiple
fine.
turns.
It's
If you
not a
untap-
combo card. That's just fair.
Yeah.
The card was literally just used to put Siege Rhinos into play. Just an honest, pure, loving card.
Yeah. Creatures are fair. Creatures never did anything.
Yeah, and this brings back creatures.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
So maybe this
that's
one is fair.
too.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing. No one's ever comboed with creatures.
Nothing to
right?
see here. This is totally fine.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
Are you a combo
Did you
deck?
see the comment when I was like, "Wow, that guy got wrenched," and I was talking about how he was mad on coverage.
Yeah.
And then Ryan was like tuning in. He was like, he never watches Magic anymore. And he just right away goes, "Wait, why did they keep printing dredge cards?" Because he hadn't seen like Creeping Chill,
yeah.
and I don't think he'd even seen Prized Amalgam. You know what I mean? Because he just
Yeah.
plays Modern,
Yeah.
but not that often, clearly.
Uh-huh.
And he just goes, "Wait, what's happening? Like, what? Why do they still print dredge cards?" I was like, "I don't know, man." Like, I just had no answer. I was just like,
Remember when they unbanned Grave Troll? Man.
"Yeah."
Boy, though, was that a good
The
idea.
best is, I think this is Grave Troll's 3rd banning. Like, it's been banned, unbanned, banned, unbanned. You know what I mean? Like, just keeps. They're like, "Well, yeah, things look okay now. You know, let him out."
Yeah.
He just instantly reoffends.
We believe in second chances.
Yeah, like he's just a career criminal.
God
Like, just throw away the key already. Like, just lock him up for life. Like, it's like some Nordic country. Just keep letting him out of prison. It's like lax laws. Like, we need the United States. This guy, dude, lock him up forever. Just throw away. Put him in solitary confinement. This
What do you
guy's
do this?
done.
Wait, there's still some states that allow the death penalty, right?
Yeah, this guy's
Yeah.
a monster, man. Get him out of here.
God damn.
This took a
But
dark
no.
turn.
He's most powerful when he's dead.
Yeah.
You can't kill Grave Troll.
Oh, no.
They just got a ban dredge. Like the
mechanic.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone would be upset?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We have a patron who'd be very upset.
Yeah.
It's
Dredge is
actually
fine.
yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, it's okay, it's fine. I don't know.
Yeah. It was fine. Then we got Creeping Chill. Now we're not sure anymore.
I'm actually not sure. I think it's probably fine. Man, I don't know. Like, we're dealing with a format where, like, if I had said, like, no, check out my sweet Abzan, Evolution deck with Postmortem Lunge going into this tournament, and I was like, I'm playing it at the GP, you would be like, you're an idiot.
Yeah. What?
Like, you would just flame me, right? Like, 100%. If I told you I was playing this deck, you would just flame me.
Yeah. I've never seen Commune with Nature before. This is
I've
just
seen-
Ancient Stirrings
Yeah, I know.
for
I've seen
creatures.
that card. Yeah,
How come no one's talking about banning this card?
Yeah, ban this card.
This is the namesake of Commune with Dinosaurs.
You get to look at 5 cards as well.
Yeah, this card. Yeah, Pete loves this card, obviously.
But yeah, this is just the Ancient Stirrings for creatures.
But
It could maybe even get a colorless creature.
But what I'm saying is like, yeah, it's dominant, whatever, like, or as well as KCI is doing. I mean, like, come on. Look at this. For listeners,
Too Shalai voice of plenty.
I'm pointing at a screen in which we have the giant monitor on the wall, and there, this Steven Reiken's Abzan evolution, which is
all right,
playing Shalai voice of plenty in his modern deck in 2018.
Yeah, here's the real trick to fixing modern. This deck, despite having a lot of creatures, wins with Walking Ballista.
Mm-hmm.
Dredge has Shriekhorns in it. KCI also plays 1 or 2 artifacts.
Yeah, ban artifacts.
Just ban artifacts.
Yeah, I can get on board with.
Get
wrecked.
I don't know. I don't know about
that.
Karn's
not an artifact.
Let's just talk about this.
You can
for
still
a
play
second.
Sylvan Scrying.
Yeah. Karn's not an artifact.
How am I supposed to cast him?
With a forest.
No. That's a yikes, Cam. Come on, man.
But nothing's good has ever come of artifacts.
Yeah, remember
just
that
leave
set
them
we
buried
had?
in the dirt. Don't dig them up.
Didn't we have a set in Standard recently that just kind of ruined everything?
I don't recall.
You could say.
Yeah, Kaladesh was rough out. The tough one for the squad. Artifacts.
Yeah, it's just good design, guys.
They're the worst. They're actually just the worst. Even Birthing Pod's an artifact.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Man. Anyway.
Yeah, all I'm getting at here is like, fix modern, quote unquote. Yeah, maybe ban artifacts.
You're allowed.
Anyway, what I'm getting at is like, yeah, modern, like it looks rough when KCI does really well, but like I think modern will self-correct.
It always does.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Unless
I think
something's horribly wrong.
Right, like that's what I'm saying. Like as much as I'm dunking on it, like modern actually pretty healthy in the sense that it corrects itself.
Yeah, because like remember when Lantern won the Pro Tour and everyone's like, holy crap, ban this deck.
Yeah, where's that deck?
It's so, have we seen it do anything since?
Hell no, but like...
It's playing Ensnaring Bridges against KCI.
Can't attack me now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
things are fine.
I think that as much as I say like you can't really predict it, like yes, at the micro level, you can't really say, I know it, like, in this matchup, I'll do this. But like overall, there's overall trends, like macro trends that affect the metagame. Like in the sense that, yeah, there was a time where KCI was dominant and then people started infecting and playing humans and smashing them. And then, this made space for decks like Hard Scales Affinity to do really well against these creature decks, which now is in a terrible place in the metagame. I mean, ask old the poor LP who played at the Invitational this weekend.
Yeah.
We should get him on the show, actually, as a guest for next week while I'm gone.
Talk about how he 0-4 at the end.
Talk about how he went 0-4 in Modern and then absolutely smashed in Standard.
Yeah, because he was smart and he played Mono Blue.
Hell yeah, Mono Blue, dude. That deck is unbeatable.
Man.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah, for the most part.
To greener pastures, they also played Standard at the Invitational. Andrew Jessup, who won the whole tournament, he played Is It Drake's, featuring 0 copies of Arclight Phoenix.
Yeah, I've seen this actually online. I've seen people do this.
It's I've been playing it a bunch. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's strong.
Yeah. 8 Drakes, 2 Niv, is it?
Yeah, 2 Niv in the dive down version rather than trying to.
I really like the 2 Search for Iscanta. Gives you a lot of game against grindier control decks, mid range decks.
Yeah. Yeah. Deck's good. Him and his brother both played it. But like 2 Selesnya decks in the top 8. Man, the guy
they went undefeated.
Yeah. Smashed Standard.
Yeah, I said that deck was good.
Really good.
Like we talked about last week actually about how like we were off it for a while, but then we were like, it's actually like still good. Like it's a good deck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Celestine Token's good. And the week before, didn't it? It won like a classic as well, right? Like it's been definitely making a resurgence.
Yep.
Yeah, Standard's great right now. You can play whatever. I mean, that's maybe Modern's,
You could even play Jeskai Nexus of Fate if you really wanted to.
Yeah. But yeah, the Celestia Tokens deck was the best performing Standard deck, which is
yeah, I think it was this guy, Zach.
Yeah, it was Zach Reekins, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Donna Vanguard version.
Yeah.
Yeah, his deck looked really good on camera.
Yeah, well, like, there is something actually just incredibly obnoxious about Tristani Discordant plus March. Like, you just need those 2 cards. And,
You're just playing Splinter Twin at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it was good with Flower, but Tristani scored just better
Yeah.
at doing that because it's just on its own also just a lot more bearable than Flower. I mean, they're still playing Flower Flourish, obviously. But yeah, I talked about this before about how, like...
Yeah, when I got turned off the deck, it's because I got... it's when Red White Angels was popular, and I got Deafening Clarion a few too many times for my liking.
Yeah, that's what got me off it too, but I think that...
Angels is gone.
That deck's...
Yeah.
I think we can... Is it fully... Like, it's still lurking around, but it's not... Before, it was, like, everywhere.
Not as popular as it was, and I wasn't playing Tristani Discord, which also helps...
A lot, yeah.
With getting things out of Clarion range, and itself is out of Clarion range.
Yeah, but, like... No, Red White Angel still sees play, but...
We haven't seen it, like, top 8 a big event or anything recently.
But it's still around, but it's, like... There was a time where it was just everywhere.
Yeah.
When it was everywhere, too, people were making some crazy deck choices.
Oh, yeah.
You mean like playing, what's the name of that Sworn Guardian? Playing Sworn Guardians in their deck?
Yeah. See some crazy
no
cards
ability
in that
1/3s.
Yeah.
Man. Could you imagine playing a 1/3 with no text in the main deck of your standard card?
It's standard. Like, I think people don't really realize that the power level on standard decks is actually really high. Like, the barrier for entry on a standard deck is, like, quite high of what a card is what constitutes playable. It's, like, actually quite high.
Well, if you compare the Arclight Phoenix decks in standard, they're not that many cards different than the ones that have been doing well in modern.
The creatures are the exact same.
Yeah, the enablers are a bit weaker and a bit slower, but it's almost a modern deck. And it's one of the tier decks in standard.
Yeah. Yeah, no, standard's barrier for entry has just always been quite powerful.
No.
You know, people tend to underestimate it as if you can kind of just play these goofy, you know, weak, like as if you're playing some weak cards. It's fine. Like, you know, it's fine. Like, this card's really underpowered, but it's not a big deal. It's like, no, it's a huge deal. Like, it's, you know, you can't afford to play cards like that in standard. You know, it's not, standard is closer to modern than it is to draft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think some people make the mistake of thinking that it's like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing weak cards in standard, I cast a couple Mistcloak Heralds over the weekend. Stelly and I played in a PPTQ at Wizard's Tower.
Yeah, we did.
I played Mono Blue Flying Men, and I got smashed. Started 0-2, continued to play in the love of the game bracket, redeemed myself slightly, and then dropped it 2-2.
Rip.
But
yeah, that's because it was filling the classic, actually. The CAM Tournament Report Classic.
Yeah, it's just become a pattern at this point.
If he does well in F&M the night before and plays the deck that he did well in F&M the night before, he's going to get crushed. And then if he plays the deck that he got crushed, if he went 0-4 in F&M, he's going to win the PPTQ.
Yeah.
It's happened. It actually happens like every single time.
Yeah, we both went to F&M together, got paired in the first round. He beat me. He was my only loss. He 4-0'd. And then, just got smashed the next day.
Yeah. And there's been times where like he's won like a PPTQ or something where like he played the deck the night before and just was like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I was just unlucky. I'm just going to run it back. After he went like 1-3 and then he comes home, he's like, I won the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so what didn't happen at F&M and what did happen round 1 of the PPTQ is that my opponent goes Sarkhan plus for mana, Niv Mizzet.
Yeah, that
on turn
card.
4. And I was like, well, I mean, I barely have answers for this in my sideboard and none main, so I'm out.
You were playing the tech.
Yeah, I played Transmogrifying Wand. And I did turn a Niv Mizzet into an Ox.
Hell yeah, got him.
But that was all I did that game. I still died.
Rip. Somebody texted me, actually. I can't pull it out in time, but...
Yeah, so I just got crushed by like early Niv Mizzets or just Niv Mizzet in general the first 2 rounds and then played against different decks and crushed them the next 2. But at that point I was dead, so...
Well, I played green-black. And I 3-0 double drew into top 8. And then I had the win in my quarterfinal match against Mono Blue in game 3, and I missed lethal and died because I'm stupid. Just like classic example of tunnel visioning so hard that you just stop considering things like that matter, like your opponent's life total, and you just start playing to not die instead of playing to win. It's like exactly what happened. And I just missed it on board, realized it after I attacked, and then died a turn later because I didn't kill my opponent in that one window.
Rip.
Yeah, it was not a good time for your boy.
Yeah, that's always a feel bad. Especially when they're these like really like small moments, you know?
Yeah. But like it was so obvious and I knew the mistake I made and it sucked, but at the same time I walked away there being like, you know what, I just like I didn't deserve to win that and I learned something really important there.
You also drew like 2 You had like 2 perfect draws in a row to even have a chance at winning.
Yeah. I was totally set up absolutely perfectly by the top of my deck to win that game, and I threw it away because I tunnel vision.
Where's the trash?
Yeah.
My record going in there.
But like, it was good in the sense that I'll probably never ever make that mistake again.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best you can hope for in those cases.
It wasn't really demoralizing at all. It just kind of like motivated me more. Like I came home and just like started jamming more games of Arena. I'm like, man.
Just queue up for an Arena game. You're not playing Mono Blue. Concede. Queue up again. So I need my revenge.
Yeah.
One of our listeners who played Mono Blue at the PBTQ as well had messaged me asking leading up to the weekend, hey, what do you think about Thematic Compass as an answer in the Mono Blue mirror? Is it too slow? And I was like, no, that's way too slow. Just play Wand. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, Transmogrifying Wand. Just play Wand. He messaged me like midway through the tournament. He's like, confirmed. Wand just busted. He's like, game 3 against Jeskai Control. I had a Wand on board. He should have scooped right there. Just remembering a Wand. Because the Nim Mizzet wouldn't do anything. He was like, can't lose. I'm like, obviously won because of it. He was so stoked. Like, Wand is actually nuts in like both the Mono Blue mirror and against Nim Mizzet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine against Drakes too, somewhat.
Yeah. No, it's actually like, really, you don't care about 2-4s in Mono Blue.
No.
At all.
What are they going to do? Nothing.
Actually nothing. Just die, like, to a Tempest Vision. Like, even LP played it at the Invitational. He's like, yeah, nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I got the idea from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you're out there playing Mono Blue going forward, you better have Transmogrifying Wand in your sideboard.
Yeah, but you can't put it in your main deck. I'll tell you that.
No. Bad idea.
Don't. This ain't modern.
No.
You can't be...
Can't play sideboard cards main deck in Standard.
Yeah, but you can if the Jund plant has taught us anything.
Yeah. Speaking of this Gerard Fabiano example, we wanted to talk a little bit about like deck building costs. Like he obviously had a cost there playing these main deck hate cards that don't, like they do something, but against some decks they just don't matter.
Like 3 now Spellbomb.
Yeah.
But there's no burn.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no infect.
Yeah. It's the same kind of thing that Tron does, playing main deck Relic of Progenitus, just because like there's just some matchups you don't have a chance game 1 unless you have something like that. And at its worst, it's just a cycler, which is, you know, what Spellbomb is in Jund as well. So it's still fine.
Yeah.
Right? But this is something that people have tried to do in Standard, this format, with Decathlon Honor Guard, like we were hinting at before. And that kind of turned out to be horrible.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I got second place at a GP.
So, yeah,
Scoreboard, man.
we wanted to kind of...
Would have stopped those Trustoni discords.
Compare and contrast the like thought process and the context in which main decking hate cards like this, you know, maybe we've said it on the podcast before, but playing sideboard cards main board, what sort of scenarios like make it appropriate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and starting with Modern, as we said, it was a meta in which you could expect a lot of graveyard-centric combo decks. I mean, obviously you shouldn't play Nihil Spellbombs if you're not expecting that. But you have to expect so many of them. And it's not so much that you expect a lot of graveyard decks, but it's that you expect so many of them that you don't expect other decks. There needs to be like very, very little downside to these inclusions. Otherwise, just sideboard them like normal.
Yeah. And I mean, looking at Modern going into this tournament, I think everyone is kind of on the same page that like we're expecting a lot of Dredge, we're expecting a lot of KCI, expecting a lot of these Arclight Phoenix decks. And, you know, Banned Spirits is probably another top contender there. So if you're looking at those top 4 decks as your top decks in Modern, 3 of them kind of have a graveyard strategy.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 can get absolutely blown out by a main Spellbomb. So... yeah, I mean, like, when you wonder, like, how does Jund make a top 8 in this universe, right? Well, that's how, right?
Yeah.
They became prepared. I think, so as much as I was saying Standard is really powerful, I think, though, there is a sort of point to be made about it's not powerful enough to justify Decathlon Honor Guard's main. Because the difference in Modern is, like, so many of your cards are so powerful that you can sort of afford to draw a Spellbomb that isn't good in the particular moment or matchup because, I don't know, you have Liliana the Veil. Mm-hmm. That kind of makes up for it, right? That just takes away the problem of drawing it completely.
Yeah.
And you have Tarmogoyf, like you have Thoughtseize, like you have all these really powerful cards otherwise that sort of can make up for the fact that, you know, you had a card that might not be good in the matchup, right? You know, you have Scavenging Ooze in your deck against burn, so it's not a big deal if you draw your Spell Bomb because like you also have a card that can just win on its own. You have these really swingy, powerful, impactful cards that in standard, you know, standard decks are sort of the sum of their parts, right? Like they need everything. You know, you kind of use all your resources in standard. You're going to fight tooth and nail, you know, need all your cards.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put it all together, right? It's not like a single card comes down and then just absolutely dominates the game. This isn't Scarab God, you know? Like, we don't really have that, right?
Yeah.
And even Scarab God, you had to build. There were still costs.
Yeah.
Whereas it feels like modern decks, like they only need to draw like, you know, a couple of the right cards, and they can you know do enough. Like what I'm getting at is like cards in Legacy and Modern can carry a lot more on their shoulders than cards in Standard.
Yeah.
Like the problem with Tikali Honor Guard main in Standard is that Aurelia can't carry that card.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it's just not going to. Whereas against Dredge, Kalitas can carry you. You can draw mono garbage. Well, you drew Kalitas, and Dredge has an awkward draw, and you slam a Kalitas in time, and then that's it. They're just dead. So it carries the entire game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just, that level of impact, like Tikali Honor Guard is close if the metagame is like literally only black-green. I will say that. Like it's close to being that obnoxious. But I think that's one of the reasons maybe all three of us and a lot of people like Standard more is that you don't just get wrenched by one card.
Yeah.
But in Modern and Legacy, if you want to do some winning, you know, to hopefully make yourselves better at Magic, you should consider these sort of options when you have the chance because, like, you know, you can afford to have the dead draw because the potential upside is just so high.
Yeah. Having the silver bullet in matchups where, like, you need it.
Right, because otherwise,
so much more important.
Otherwise, you can't also win. That's the other side of the coin is like, you can't win without them.
Yeah.
Whereas in Standard, again, like, yeah, they can play Tikali Honor Guard against your green black deck, but like, I don't know, you just drew, you know, I don't know, you draw a Vraska and you kill it, and like you play a Vivian Reed and you end up just like getting a bunch of value somehow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't just auto lose.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, rest in peace, you're like, like if you're playing Dredge, like, dang,
yeah,
you got me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to think of other examples of sort of times in recent history when a modern deck has mainboarded a card of this nature. Not really thinking of many.
It's just,
would you consider like timely reinforcements being made in some blue-white decks a similar example?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I'd say so.
I think one of the points we have in the show notes is interesting is like Modern and Legacy or Glass Cannon worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the world of the format. The formats are Glass Cannon formats.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the things that can shatter them are worth playing, even if it means like they're otherwise sanitized cards in other matchups, you know? Like they're relatively weak in other matchups. Like it's still worth throwing relics around.
Yeah.
So, but in Standard it's not, right? Like this is why I would joke, like, would you play Transmogrifying Wand main? No. Right. Because like it's just not enough. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't, there are matchups where, yeah, it's good, but like it is so incredibly useless in those other matchups, and you can't afford to draw dead cards like that.
And even like these spell bombs, as we said, they were good over 3 or 4 different unique matchups. Whereas sideboard cards in Standard are for like 1 or 2 matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like even they're so specific. They're like specifically good against like a card or 2 within those matchups that you really need. Yeah. Like it's not a huge deal though either way. Like, yeah, sideboarding in Standard is really important, but I think it's sort of overplayed. You know what I mean? Like
it's nowhere near as important as Modern.
Yeah, like people like, this guy's a master of Standard. Like he really understands how to sideboard. It's like, nah, you just side out your Wild Growth Walkers in the mirror. Like, you know what I mean? Like yeah. It's not that complicated. Like you just have bombs and you just have more bombs and like yeah, we get it. You know? Like
yeah, if you have like if you happen to have an efficient answer for your opponent's bombiest card, cool. Otherwise, take out yours that are least impactful, and that's just how you sideboard in Standard.
Yeah. Like, there are obviously way more nuances than that, and there are some really, like, nuanced game plans you can make, but I just don't think, no matter how, again, it's just, they're nuanced. They're, you know, they're not as impactful. They're not Glass Cannon, you know, like, decks in Modern are both Glass Cannon, but sideboards are as well.
Yeah.
And they're as powerful and react in similar fashion, whereas in Standard, they just aren't. So, yeah. I think that's something that you need to be aware of. And I think this sort of really helps illuminate the sort of fundamental or philosophical differences between the formats, like why some people like one more than the other or dislike them, right? Is this point, right? That like there's a sort of fundamental difference between the operating strategies of each format.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you'll have a bad time if you, like, a couple times when I didn't know the modern format, I just was lent a deck and went to try and play and like didn't know how to sideboard for matchups, didn't know what cards were needed where, or like if I had a hate card, in which way to use it. I've borrowed multiple decks with engineered explosives in the board, and I just don't know like what number engineered explosive is supposed to be on in some matchups,
and
particularly the creature heavy matchups, like Counters Company. Like, is it best on 2, 3? I don't know.
Yeah, and like you can't make those errors in modern.
Like,
you're dead
because it's class canon. You're just dead.
And so like trying
in standard, there's room for error.
Trying to sideboard as if it was standard was a bad time.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's part of it. And so like I think you got to make those decisions when you play modern of like, you got to cheese people, man. You got to cheese them. Like I'm saying, you know what I mean? Are you playing Legacy and Modern? Like you got to cheese them. You got to hit them with the rest in pieces, the blood moons.
Get those free wins when you can.
The surgicals. Yeah, hell yeah. Like if you're playing those formats, you have to understand that that's part of the game. Like you got to cheese them. And you know, I got to give props to Fabiano where props are due. That he came prepared. You know what I mean? He tried to make a call and it worked, you know, and that's how you do well if you're going to play a fair deck in Modern. And I think that's a really important lesson. We don't talk a ton about Modern on here, but I think that's a really important lesson to take away from this, that you got to come, even if you're playing fair, you kind of can't.
I'm also curious about kind of the converse, people who prefer Modern and mostly play Modern, but who try and pick up Standard every once in a while. Like what it is about Standard that they don't like. Like, is it that sideboard cards just don't feel impactful enough? Is it that you feel like, I'm curious because I know my reason why I don't like switching from Standard to Modern, but I'm curious what maybe some of the other opinions are.
What's your reason?
I just explained. I don't know how to sideboard. I don't like this whole sort of philosophy of the way modern games pivot around a small number of cards. Yeah.
It's rarely like maybe people just don't like the grindy top deck fest that like Standard can devolve into, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe some listeners can shed some light on this. But I think sort of whether you subjectively enjoy each format or not, I think that is like a fundamental difference you need to understand when approaching each format, right? Is that, in Standard, like you need to have a little, like pull up Standard sideboards. They're sort of
here's one.
They're sort of, they're not even
2 different types of removal. Something that can pick off enchantments if you need
couple Night Autumn,
some flexible threats.
Yeah, they're just diverse and flexible. But like, I mean, modern sideboard cards can also be diverse, I suppose. But like, you have like Eldest Reborn and Standard Cast Down, some duress. Like it's pretty obvious. But like a duress isn't like game over.
Yeah.
You don't like cast duress, you're against control, you got him, man. It got dead. You know what I mean? Like, concede, buddy, it's over.
Yeah.
Like you look at your opening hand, you're like, keep, this guy's toast. Turn 1 duress. Got him. Like
whereas Modern, you're like stony silence, like, guess I'm dead.
Guy just scoops, you know what I mean? Like, so that, I don't know, man.
There's your difference right there.
Yeah, and I think, I'm saying like regardless of any sort of value judgment I place on either one of what I enjoy more, that doesn't matter in this assessment. What I'm saying is that when you approach both formats or either format, like it's important to recognize this difference. And in recognizing this difference, it should help guide how you construct your sideboard and approach the metagame, both in your main deck and in your sideboard. Because in Standard, you don't need to sort of metagame in this way of having sideboard cards main, but in Modern, like there are occasions where you should. And I think that sort of understanding this basic difference between the formats and how they play out as sort of glass cannon games is sort of a fundamental necessity to understanding each format. Whether you like them or not doesn't matter. I'm saying that this is the case.
Yeah.
Like you have to respect it either way, whether you like it or not. That's just the way it is.
Would the real 200 IQ Galaxy, would the real like 200 IQ Galaxy Brain play have been KCI with a couple spell bombs main? Nihil spell bombs? You can sack them to KCI, but you also get the other KCI players and Dredge and Phoenix.
Yeah, maybe that would have been, that is galaxy brain, actually. That's nuts. If I saw that, I'd just be yelling. I'd just be yelling at the TV. Hey, Ma! There's a weird looking KCI deck out here. It's got spell pumps made. I don't want to be getting in a fight in the mirror.
Oh my God. All right.
Anyway, yeah, that's my take.
All right. And now for our new segment.
Oh, yeah, the wacky things I've lost to.
The wacky things I've lost.
Yeah, well,
I like my name better.
yeah. What was it?
I don't know. Beats me.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, we've just been jamming so much Arena lately, and we were talking before the show about, like, just the wacky things we've lost to.
Yeah, I finally started building constructed decks on Arena because I felt I had enough wild cards that I could start spending them. Yeah, played against some interesting brews.
So if you want to explore some interesting brews, or like we'll post them in the deck list, like we'll explore some of these options so you look forward to potential future hits in the standard metagame.
Well, like, give me some of the highlights. What is the best thing you've
We
lost?
both independently have lost multiple games to mono black control decks.
Oh, yeah.
I've gotten stomped for a couple weeks by them.
Because I had mostly drafted Guilds of Ravnica, I had 4 Frenzies and 4 Steamkins, so I built mono red. And let me tell you, it is hard to win with mono red when your opponent's opener is Moment of Craving, Vraska's Contempt. You're already really far behind.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, I got them to 6 that game. Then they just started, I had a bunch of mono black removal, and at one point they cast a Price of Fame and they surveilled a Mirari Conjecture into the bin, and I was like, you don't have any blue mana. I was wrong. They had a Chromatic Lantern, and they went and Mastermind Acquisition, got a Banefire, and they copied it with their Conjecture, and I didn't think I was playing against Grixis, but...
Guess.
Gotcha. I lost to just Josu Vess.
Yeah, they had one of those.
I was playing green black, I think. I can't remember what I was playing for sure. I think it was green black.
You didn't have enough spot removal?
Nope. And I killed the Josu Vess at one point. They just played it out. And then I was like, huh, that was weird. And then I looked, I was like, oh, wait, never mind. They have two Memorial to Folly on the board. This is going to be bad eventually. Like, I don't have Vraska's Contempt. I should have waited for one, actually. I probably shouldn't have cast that Chupacabra. I am, so yeah, mono black control variants. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think maybe I was unlucky. I don't know. But all I'm saying is, like,
couldn't have played wrong. You're just unlucky.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that Arena has a space now, I think, actually, where it's kind of cool. You see a lot of people experimenting with, like, really interesting decks. And I think it might be a really sort of, I don't want to say, like, democratizing space, but kind of in a way in which that people sort of will experiment a lot more freely on Arena than they will in other formats. I think eventually it'll become easier to experiment, like it is in Hearthstone or other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, the craziest deck I lost to though is the Dawn of Hope combo deck.
Oh yeah,
Dawn of Hope combo control. Yeah,
yeah.
He just got me with like made a bunch of mana, like played Chromatic, like had settles. I was like, what is going on here? And then he just played a Fountain Renewal, and so like he just paid 2 to draw an extra card every turn, and like. Just ground me down, man. Like he played an Immortal Sun. Like I don't know. Like it was just crazy. I will say, man, I've been playing. I have like 2 accounts on Arena, and on my free to play account on Green Black, I just happened to randomly crack 3 Immortal Suns, which is just bizarre. But I have 3, and so I don't have Planeswalkers, but I have everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of playing, like Vivian's, I've just been playing 3 Immortal Suns. I have not lost a mirror. Actually, I just haven't lost the mirror because you just play Immortal Sun, they just lose.
Yeah.
None of their cards do anything, and all your creatures are better. It's a mirror.
Isn't this something I said at one point?
Yes, you were right.
Because we were talking about how like Green Black was becoming more Planeswalker centric.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's outrageous. I actually just haven't lost a mirror. It's not close.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like play Immortal Sun and they rope on the end of your turn, and then they slowly like go to their turn, and then they just tank again.
Yeah, dude, it's actually unreal because like their walkers don't do anything, and all your 2/2s are 3/3s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's actually nuts. Problem is like pretty clunky in other matchups. But anyway, those are the wacky decks I lost to. I'll report back next time.
Yeah.
And since I'm going to be home for the next 3 weeks, and I'll be not in the province and somewhere else in the country, far away.
Mm-hmm.
In a faraway land.
Off the sideboard.
I'll be just chilling by the fireplace. Drinking beers and playing Arena for a couple weeks probably is what I got planned.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, nice friendly Christmas holiday.
Friendly. As you just spam your go.
Oh yeah. So, and I'll report back with some wacky
nothing
decks.
degenerate happening over there in Alberta, let me tell you.
No, just a wholesome family time, dude. Never anything degenerate from your boy.
Man, speaking of spamming your go, this was so I was playing like the competitive drafts a lot on Arena, and so when I built a standard deck, I couldn't find like best of 3 matches, so I just was playing the best of 1s. And I had multiple people like full attack me. I like block so that I don't lose any creatures and go to 2. And as they are attacking me with all their creatures, they're spamming your go. Then I like go to 2 and they pass and I attack them back for lethal. And they keep spamming your go as they blow up. Like I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They're just mad. I've definitely had like good game. They're like spamming good game like they won, and then they just like don't realize that like they lose to a removal spell. They just like, kill them. They just concede. I'm like, good game. Like, yeah, it's great.
Also, I was trying a risk factor version of Red for a bit because I hadn't played with the card. At least the people I played against at first could not handle it.
It's hard, man. Got to make your opponent make a decision.
Yeah, I was telling Stelly about this earlier, but I had a Fanatical Firebrand on board.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And my opponent's at 5. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'll draw 3, like cast risk factor. They take 4. I'm like, okay, ping you.
Guess I'll die. The classic DWC line. Guess I'll die.
Yes.
Someone else did it too. I had 3 2/2s and they were 8, and they had 1 blocker. Cast risk factor. I'm like, oh, guess I'll draw some cards. They take 4. I'm like, okay, attack you, and they die.
Classic.
Man, risk factor is so broken.
Yeah.
In our Discord, actually, if you'd like to join
Yeah.
our Discord, which all patrons get access to,
Yeah.
we have a thing for sharing arena names if you want to throw down challenges
Yeah.
so we can battle.
I should toss mine in there. I keep forgetting to.
Yeah, I forgot to put mine in there, but hell yeah, that's all I'm doing for the next month. Come fight me.
All right. Thank you all for joining the club this week. Make sure, as always, you check out wizardtower.com for all your Magic single needs. Great sponsor of this podcast. Love to see him. If you want to get in contact with us, you can find us on Facebook, the Disorganized Wizard Club Podcast, or on Twitter at DWC Podcast 1. Also, check us out there to get entered for our giveaway. Retweet the most recent episode. You'll see the tweets.
Win a whole box.
Whole box of Guilds of Ravnica. And if you want to support the cast, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/DWC Podcast. All patrons get access to our DWC Discord, and there's certain tier levels where you can get our new DWC custom tokens. Super stoked about those. And yeah, and however you listen to the podcast, whether it's on Podbean, iTunes, any podcast app, now on Google Play, share the podcast with your friends, rate it. You know, everything helps keep this podcast growing and bring it to new listeners. We'll catch you all next week.
Happy New Year. See you in 3 weeks.
See ya.